Well, the Tour de France has been going now for nearly 3 weeks, and since then we have seen the heroes made and reputations put to the sword. Tonight there is nowhere to hide as the remaining riders of the Tour, the convicts of the road, face their test against the clock. Well, good evening and welcome to First Off the Bike special Tour de France edition. Thanks to Finey, who came in just before us. Another quality program by the great man. And welcome to the Herald Sun, the little newspaper's Daniel Hoy. Dan, welcome for the second last show of this special edition.
Oh, sorry, Phil. I just fell off my chair, mate. I'm having a bit of the Dennis Menchoffs tonight.
Okay, it's customary when you are on radio that when someone addresses you, you do respond. Certainly. Taking a look at the coverage at the moment, we can see your man Denny Menchov is up and about, and they've got there's a truck full of pillows just driving along next to him to keep him upright. The poor fella, he's had a horrible time. Now, the question for tonight, though, we like to pose a question to those folks out there, and tonight, what is Cadell going to be listening to in his iPod for the time trial? What's going to fire Cadell up? What's going to get him going so that he pulls some time back and actually makes this tour respectable?
I would have thought no second prize, Jimmy Barnes, some of his finest work.
Yeah, I would think something along the lines of Rick Astley. Never going to give you up. Yeah. What about Celine Dion? Just listening to her voice makes me mad. And I would be getting on top of that and just trying to smash the time trial listening to Celine Dion. Or maybe something from The Bodyguard. A bit of Whitney Houston.
She's supposed to fire up, Phil, not put you to sleep.
So I'm just saying, though, it just makes you angry.
You'd be listening to The Greatest American Hero, wouldn't you?
Well, that always gets a tear to my eye. We're listening to that a little bit later on. I know it's Mark's favourite out there on the Mac. He loves to spin that disc.
Well, the Science Lotto boys should have been listening to Stand By Your Man. I'll tell you what, surely. Just left Cadell swinging.
Apparently. 0433 98 11 16, or give us a call on 9429 11 16. What is Cadell going to be listening to on the iPod? What's going to be going through his veins and through his ears as he tries to tune up for this race against the clock? As we can see Palazzotti in the start house, all resplendent in a beautiful polka dot arrangement and a green bike. Shocking colour combination. And as an Italian, you know, I reckon he'd be a bit annoyed by that because they're a classy bunch, the Italian riders.
They are.
Contador's attack last night was, it was conflicting.
What was going on there?
What was going on there? To put it in perspective, there's 4 of them going up the climb. He was there with his teammate Cloder, and he turned on the afterburners, blew his teammate.
And the Slick brothers stayed with him, and the only person he dropped was the bloke who was there to help him.
I've no, and now the rumour that goes around is that Cloden said that's okay. But Cloden couldn't breathe.
No, and someone said to me that, it's not to me, so I read somewhere that they communicate to each other in English, so there could have been a misunderstanding. Maybe Contador said go and Cloden said no. I don't know.
Anyway, Brunel didn't push the button. Contador's gone on his own.
Yeah.
And what's going on there? I mean, it's horrible.
Well, Contador's come out and said, he said to Johan, I feel good, can I go? And Johan said yes. And then Brunel's gone, I never said that. That's not how it happened at all.
I know. A climb. Now, a couple of text messages have rolled in about what Cadell is listening to on his iPod just before the time trial. Bob the Builder. Can we fix this?
That's not bad, is it?
That's good. What about Moving Pictures? What About Me?
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
It's kind of a crybaby song.
It is.
Ooh, controversial. And he'll be listening to Move Your Feet by Junior Senior. I'm not familiar with that work.
No.
Move Your Feet, interesting one. But that's from Chris. Keep them coming in, and you can do that by texting us. Pete from Werribee says Cadell should be listening to Monty Python's Always on the Bright Side of Life. God, he's going to have to. Paul Cadell's going to have to. Dano from Doncaster is saying Meatloaf's 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
That's some absolute gold coming through.
Don't tell me it's over's come through as well. Good work, our crew on the text message. They're working overtime at the moment. Kickstart My Heart from Steve from Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
He needs something to kickstart. He needs a 9-volt battery applied, you know. Rick Price, he's got a wooden... He'll be listening to Rick Price, he's got a wooden leg. Perhaps Cadell has as well. It's controversial.
I didn't know Rick Price had a wooden leg.
No. Now, Tor Hushold last night, the man in the green jersey, not expected to do what he did last night. Boy, wasn't he good.
He was very, very good. He sort of decided that if, I'm not going to... I think he knows he's not going to beat Cav in a straight-off sprint, but, to win the green, you've got to be able to get over the mountains.
2 mountain passes, all that effort for 12 points.
Yep.
Geez, that was some really good going. He's just, for me, a worthy winner.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I'm going to take a little bit of a stick to Cavendish at the moment. And me, mate, Cavendish, shut up and ride. Just ride your bike, man.
I agree with
You've done a great job in the first week. You've killed it. But all this comment you've made about Hushold's, green jersey being tainted, all you've done is make yourself look like a goose.
He has.
And he's too good a rider.
I don't want to say whinging pom, but...
Yes, you do.
Well, I do. He's a whinging pom.